Hey, what's up, Skywalker, with Imagination Creation Films, and today it is January the 5th. It's Friday. You know what Friday means? Yup. It's another live stream by me for you because it's Friday and I can't do anything about it. It's the law now. Happy New Year. It is 2024. All kinds of new things in the world going on in 2024. Are you excited? Are you prepared? Are you ready for it? Me neither, but, you know, we're going to go through this together like we always do on this big, giant blue marble rambling through the universe. How are you? You doing good? You doing well? Is it a good day? Is it a singable day? Is it a laughable day? Is it a sad day? Because I want to know. I want to talk about it. I also want to talk about all things filmmaking because I got a ton of stuff to talk about. And we can talk about it. We can dig into it. We can all that kind of good things. I mean, you know, all the good stuff. Oh, look at this guy. Scott says, hi. Hi, Scott. How are you? Wow, dang, he's handsome. I like it. Jeff Fagan. Hello, Jeff. How are you? Luca says, Happy New Year. Happy New Year, Luca. Rex says, meh. You know, at his best Rex voice. It's 2025? No. No? Is it? My clock's wrong? I mean, it could be. I don't know. It could be. I mean, 4. He says, well, you know, Jeff, we can be off. I mean, in the grand scheme of things, just think about this. The Earth is 4.4 billion years old. So if you're off by 1 year, I mean, you're talking about thousands and thousands of a percent, like billions and billions of a percent off. So, you're not that far off, galactically speaking. Tim says, hello. Hello, but not halal, guys, because those are delicious. Those I like the spicy food, especially at 3 o'clock in the morning in Vegas. Woo, so spicy. I think I skipped a year sleeping. Ah, yes, you did the NyQuil full season dosage. So, hope everyone is having a wonderful and spectacular day. I, as usual, just last minute running through here like a tornado, getting everything ready. Hopefully everything looks good. Hopefully everything looks okay and fun and cool and all that. We got lots of stuff. Lots of stuff showed up this week, oddly enough. Lots of reviews coming. Lots of cool stuff. I got one and I spent, I don't know, the last couple hours getting it all ready to go and not ready enough to get on the live stream, but yeah, we got, it's going to be one of those yawning days. Yeah. Carlos says, hello, Scott. Hello, Carlos. Yeah, I was going to make a note of those. Do more with less. There's talking points here. And what else? There was something else, Carlos, I was going to ask you. I'm going to dim that down because that's right in my face. My face! So let's see here. What all can we chat about? Daniel! Hello, Daniel. How are you? Hope you're doing well. Did you have a busy 2023 or was it meh like so many other people's? I'm excited to get back to work, honestly. I really would like some work now. It's time. But, yeah, I got lots of stuff to do in the meantime. So let's see here. It sucked. I hear you. I'm out of town again, but I got my smoky salt and pepper before I left town. Delicious smoky pepper. You mean, it's supposed to be right here. What? Oh, there it is. Hey, look at that. Scotty B. Goods for that amazing, delicious, all that fun stuff. Have a few cool things coming for 2024. Yep. Rex looks like you've had him on set without rest. Yeah, he was literally right before we got started, was yawning continuously, which is why I'm yawning. I just said it. And now I just depressurized the whole room, which is going to depressurize the earth. Now all y'all are going to start yawning. It's a whole thing. Yeah, he yawned like 4 times right before we got started. It was something unbelievable. Andrea, hello, Andrea. How are you? Let's see here. Did y'all do anything fun for the New Year's? We celebrated with pizza. Yeah, we made pizza, and then we enjoyed it, and then we drank a little wine, and I burned a prop, and that's what we did. We're gonna do. You're gonna get annoying. We we we're gonna have pizza again tonight too. For those of y'all who are playing at home on the home game, uh, if you've made the pizza and you like the pizza, but you're thinking, a little bit thicker crust, 1.5 times the recipe. It's kind of amazing. We do it for two things. Number one, that recipe is good for about a 14-inch diameter pizza. Two of them, and I like about a 16-inch. But what I found is doing a 1.5, I can stretch it to the 16, and it's just ever so slightly thicker. And oh man, it's good. Let's see here. Yeah, pizza good. We also celebrated with pizza, and wine broke out at Opus One. Man, you gotta love it. That's the way you do it. That's it. That's how we roll. Let's see here. Goals. Did y'all set some goals? We have a bunch of goals here at Imagination Creation Films, as well as over at Raw Cuts and several other things. God, I hope I can do it this year. I keep saying it every year, setting myself goals, but we're gonna do it. We're rolling into it right now. We're gonna have, like I've always promised, 2 videos a week plus a live on this channel. 1 video every 2 weeks on Raw Cuts, and then something else later. Let's see. I like thick crust pizza, but don't know how to get it well done all the way through. That's key, Carlos. If you watch my video, I let you in on the key. It's the way I found to get it done properly, crispy, and never soggy. And you just have to watch my video all the way through, and I'll let you know. No, it's literally we do the dough, and then we pop it in the oven for 5 minutes and pull it out. Then we top it. Then we put it back in for the rest of the way. Doing that, it's perfection. I know that is not the way everybody else does it, but you know what? This works. It works really well. It's good. Puppy Cam needs, puppy needs adjustment is what it is. He's, what we got back there? Big old cardboard box. What's over here? Oh, Crocs and warm-ups. It's cold outside. What else we got? What are those? Those are good. There we go. We'll go with that. That'll work on the puppy cam. Let's see here. Goals for us. We have a lot of goals this year. Obviously, work a lot more, but also really get this salt and pepper business going, like further and bigger and better and everywhere and all those things. And we've got a lot to do on it, and we're trying to do it so it doesn't cost us money right now. So we're trying to, obviously it costs us a lot up front, but now we've broken even with all the sales and everything, which is great. It's all good. Thank you all for being a part of that. And so now it's as sales come through, that amount of money we start to bring and start to elevate the business more and more and more. So we're going to do that. We're working on a couple of commercial ideas, but I was thinking about, and this may be the death of me, doing a community commercial. Not so much, you all make commercials and send them in, that kind of thing. No, 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 not at all. Because I mean, that's like the biggest ploy ever. It's like, do my work for me. No, I was thinking, as a community, what if we all wrote a commercial for the salt and pepper? Various little parts, not necessarily the physical script, but the theme, what kind of stuff happens in it, all the I wonder if that might be fun, just to have a commercial out there that was kind of community made, just to see if we could pull it off. And by pull it off, I mean me really doing all my fun stuff. Carlos says, someone contacted Creative Kitchen, asked if you will be releasing recipe cards featuring your smoked salt and pepper. I said I would ask. We are going to, on Raw Cuts, so multifaceted, Carlos. We want to integrate it more. It doesn't make sense here to integrate it. It's salt and pepper. Although I literally had a dream last night. This could be the dumbest thing on the planet, but I don't know why I think it's hilarious. But on all of my reviews, I do the salt test and I sprinkle salt on top of it and see if it's any better. I don't know. It's a little tie-in there, but in the Raw Cuts, we're going to do a series of recipes that use the salt and the pepper so that people can have ideas. And then as those come out, we can then put the recipes out on the website. And that way, kind of a twisty, turny, windy kind of thing, but it's definitely something we want to do. We use it on almost everything, and I'm gonna try to figure out how to do how to put it into cookies. It's got to be good on cookies. It's got to be good in there. So yeah, we'll be doing more and more. So we use it on our meatloaf, and our meatloaf is the current. It's the current recipe. It's done, but what I'm trying to do now is figure out how to get it to best bake properly, evenly, and always stay together, which is a tough one for meatloaf, especially good meatloaf. And that's why it hasn't come out on the Raw Cuts channel. Anybody that has suggestions for recipes that they're using it, the things that they like it on, please feel free to send them to me, email or what have you. We'll add them to the website, because we think it's cool and fun that everybody likes to kind of do their thing, especially the whole banana thing. We still haven't tried that. Let's see, what goals did you guys set for this year? Did y'all do that? We're not going to do the weight loss thing. I mean, we'll try, but I mean, everybody always does that and it never works. And, we're going to do what we do. And same thing with exercise. We're going to exercise, but not because it's a goal or anything. We're just going to do it because we're getting old and that's life. I tried the banana. Well, how was it, Tim? I haven't tried the banana. How was it? The inquiring minds want to know. Okay, let's see here. So Scatter, have y'all heard of Scatter? Mark Bryan on here was talking about Scatter, and it's an interesting plugin for Resolve. I reached out; they sent me a short-term evaluation copy that I can use. Can't use it for professional stuff, just to use it, and it's interesting. It's interesting. So far, it's not identical to filters. It's a plugin that gives you filters, and it does a fairly decent job, but they're not exact. And I've been literally today, which filters are all over here, been going through filters and shooting a scene, and then using all the filters that I have in there and then taking it back and having Scatter see if it can make the same results. I'm finding the feel is there, but not necessarily the strength. So we'll have to see on that one. It was interesting for sure. I found I really have been using it more and more on pretty much everything. That's the goal. We get you hooked on it, and then we just get you buying it by the gallon. I mean, why not? Gregory, Happy New Year, Gregory. Have you gotten your package yet, Gregory? It should. I feel like it should be there for you by now. I'd have to look. It's interesting. You don't actually taste the salt and pepper as much as it changes the complete taste and texture a bit of the banana normally. That's probably not a bad thing. Bananas are so interesting. I like bananas, but I also don't like bananas. It depends on how they are and what they're used. I like bananas Foster a lot, mostly because it's bananas with caramel. But texture is a big thing. Right now, the wife and I, we are dabbling in cobblers, trying to get the right kind of cobbler, peach cobbler, obviously. But I mean, trying to get a cobbler the way it's supposed to be. Let me add this. I immediately ate another one and then made Katie try it. What did Katie think? You know, Katie doesn't like most things. So what did Katie think? You have to take her to the non-Chick-fil-A Chick-fil-A, and then she likes Chick-fil-A. Actually, that was a pretty cool place. Can you stack multiple instances of scatter to improve the strength, or does it wreck the image? I haven't tried stacking yet, but it does have a strength. So you can, so you get like a filter, you select it, then you select the strength, and then there's a slider for strength on top of that. And I'm assuming that's because the way the filters are working, you have a strength, and then it's a question of how much of that effect are you applying. And there's also a couple of other changes you could do to highlights and such. I'm still learning it, but it is interesting. It's I think it's $400 for forever, or it's like $100 a year, something like that. Very, very nice company. I just reached out and said, hey, I've heard a lot about this. I'd like to try it. I'd like to kind of A/B test it and review it. They're like, sure, here. We love they said we love helping out creatives. That's what we do. And I was like, that's cool. And yeah, I mean, it's a trial. It's a short-term trial. So it's not forever, but it's fine. It's cool. I mean, if it works out, it's kind of good enough already that if you didn't put filtration on and you wanted some, you could get it. And so I can already feel it. But I haven't tried stacking multiple filters. But it is literally something I'm testing, though, now that I think about it, because I do have 2 filters that I did stack for a specific look for something I'm working on over the next 2 months to see if it would replicate that. Have you tried the smoked pepper with bitter chocolate? No, I haven't. I'm not. Well, number one, I am not a fan at all of bitter chocolate. I like a sweet chocolate. But I kind of wonder, would the salt not do better? Because the salt is actually a little sweet on the palate, but then it's salt, so it's a flavor enhancer. I don't know. It makes the banana almost sweet and savory. I mean, that's a good thing. I like things that are complex and thick, as I call them. There's a recipe out there that everybody makes called firecracker chicken. Have y'all ever had it? It's like it's a lightly breaded chicken with some like a sweet and spicy sauce mix on it, and you serve it with like rice, I believe. What I don't like about firecracker, it has everything about it is great except for the heat. The heat is so narrow. It's like a narrow band filter. Wow, that was weird. It's like I saw this light. There it is. That's what it is. I saw this light in the lens. I was like, what in the world is that? I was saying it's like a Interesting. The hold on one second. Okay. So the firecracker chicken is very narrow. The spice profile, and it's not complex. It's like it's hot, but it's not flavorful. That's not the right kind of hot. So that's something I want to remake. Like maybe an adjustment layer or on the actual clip. So you need to use it on clips because you have to tell it what is the gamma that you're using. So if you use it on like red, you need to tell it LG310 because it is how it is interpreting. Package is not here yet. Gregory says, "Hey Tim, Carlos, Happy New Year. Happy New Year." See, Katie was hesitant to even try it, but just said it was different, which I agree was a good way to describe it. Have you tried it on deviled eggs? I have not. I wouldn't mind trying it on deviled eggs, actually, because I haven't had deviled eggs in a long time, and we have a bunch of chickens and a bunch of eggs. Hold on, gotta do something here. So this is kind of funny. There's a debate about what something says. And I know what it says. And it's not what they think it says. Or I am really, really, really wrong. Let's see. Well, that's interesting. Did it really just do that? Let me see if it'll do that. It was trying to read it. That was weird. Okay. I do love deviled eggs, though. I haven't had deviled eggs in forever. Okay, this could be hilarious if this works out. If this I might have stumbled on something. King says, "Afternoon, KX Whisperer." Well, afternoon, King. How are you? Deviled eggs with Scotty B's smoked pepper was actually next on my to-do list. Ooh. Makes a grilled cheese pot. Now, you're putting the pepper on the grilled cheese? I wouldn't think the salt would go super good on grilled cheese. Well, if you make grilled cheese the way we do, we make it with like 5 or 6 cheeses because there's just so much. But there's a lot of salt in cheese. Have you tried it on popcorn? I haven't, but it's actually on my list. I can imagine it'd be kind of tough, mainly because the salt is so coarse. that it, I don't know, it might be interesting. Might come off salty because getting it to stick is going to be tough because it's so heavy and big. I see 20 people watching and only 9 thumbs up. What's not to like? Or is it too early to... I mean, this is true. It is... Wait for things to start going wrong. Popcorn sounds like a great idea. Now, I wonder... I haven't tried... like shaving down the salt any. And anybody with a pepper or a salt grinder, there's no reason to do that unless you're literally just trying to make it finer, because salt has been around for billions of years. Magically crushing it doesn't make it taste better, just makes it finer. Then the same question is, what kind of popcorn? Well, it can only be big popcorn. I don't like any tiny kind of popcorn, the little tiny kernels. It has to be big. You know how like Pop Secret, if you get the microwave Pop Secret, they have these huge kernels or the huge popcorn. That's the kind I like. But I like it with caramel. If you've never made caramel popcorn, it's very easy to make. Salt on that? Ooh. Apply it to the popcorn when the popcorn is still fresh with butter. It will absolutely stick. But I don't know. It's giant salt. Hi, Scott. New subber. What do you think Red should include in their next firmware update for which camera? Because it depends on which camera, which things will be nice. I'm always going to say slower frame or slower shutter speeds, but I mean that may or may not ever happen. I don't know. I'm gonna always ask because it's what I do. I just nudge. So do you think the CA on those Mini Cooks lenses are as crazy as I do? Yes and no, Carlos. What I feel on them is I feel they are T29 lenses that they just opened up to go further. Because at T29, those lenses are pretty good. The amount of CA that shows up in T29 is far, far less than 2.4. A lot. And so it's kind of like the Proteus and Amorphix. At 2.9, those are absolutely CA free. Yeah, mostly CA free. But you pull it down to 2.1 and it's just like, it blooms out. And I kind of wonder, a couple of things. Number one, are we looking at lenses wrong? CA has actually kind of grown on me. I don't like it, but it's grown on me what it does. And my question is, if a lens CAs has a lot of chromatic aberration at and cognition, I will come back to your question if you tell me which one too. The CA, if it CAs like crazy at say T28, but 0 CA or 1% CA at T4, the question is, does it matter? If you're shooting at 2.8 and you need to shoot at 2.8, then it obviously could matter. But if you're shooting at T4, why do we care? And it's interesting because, like, a lot of cooks, they're not shot wide open. They're shot usually at T4, T5, 6, somewhere in the middle, T5, split. Anywhere from 4 to 5, 6 is usually. They might be shot a little closer to wide open, but not always. And so are we paying too much attention to CA? Or am I like the CA whisperer and can pull out CA when no one else does? Because it's interesting, on the Proteus and on the Cooks, all the other reviewers out there, they're not pointing out the amount of CA. They talk about it a little bit, but not necessarily Yeah, not necessarily to the level that I pointed it out. So I don't know. I don't know. Carlos called the elephant in for popcorn. Soon as the package arrives, I'm cooking fish in a smoked salt dome. Ooh, ooh, interesting. I mean, that fish is really good. No, that salt is really good on fish and pepper. Komodo X. Komodo X. So, what I would love on Komodo X is all of the aspect ratios that we get on V-RAPTOR and that we had on DSMC2. I would like those in Komodo X. I don't know the extent of effort. I don't know if it's on the roadmap. I don't know if they even want to do it. It's a question of Well, that's interesting. I'll let everybody in on the joke here just a second. So I would like to see the format. I would like to be able to shoot in like 5K 2:1 or 5K 2:1, that kind of stuff as you go down, especially in like the 4Ks. And so we only get we only get what do we get? We get a couple of them. We don't get all of them, and I would like to see as many as we can get. That would be what I would like next on there. Otherwise, Komodo X. Let me think about any issues. I love all the soft pages at the top. Man, I don't know. I don't know. I don't run into a lot of problems. There's not too many things on there that I would say, I wish I could do this, because they literally answered a whole bunch of the I wishes with Komodo X. What do you want to see in the next Komodo X? That's what I want to know. Based on rumors, what will you get, R1 or R5.2? I don't know. Probably the R5.2 would be more what I'm going for, because I like resolution for stills. Welcome to the club. R1 for sure. I don't know. I don't know. Timmy says, if you watch any older films that we all grew up on, a lot of them have tons of breathing in CA. Totally never affected the. You're 100% right. What I love doing, and my wife, we do it all the time now, is we're watching older movies. And I mean, I know some of you youngins are really young, but like the 80s and 90s movies, and you'll see like totally shaky camera where it's trying to be smooth, or you'll see a bump, or you'll see a pan that wasn't smooth. And I don't remember anybody complaining about it ever. I see it because you have that laser vision now. So all right. So the deal was, I've got the Theos in for review, and I was working on that. On the bottom, see if we can do it with Rex Cam. Will it focus? It's not going to focus, is it? No, no, we're not going to. If you look on the bottom, it's Morse code. There's dots and dits in there. And so I did the dots and dits. And I came up with safe as sound on there, which is Not what I expected it to be. I expected it to be safe and sound. But then I went back like 2 more times, and then I double checked. I even went out to the web because I'm a general class ham radio operator. I had to actually learn Morse code, 20 words per minute, to get my my license. And so I even went out to the interwebs and got the Morse code and looked it up, and I was like, that says AS at the end, safe AS sound. Now, I sent it to Andrew over at Deity, and he's like, no, it's safe and sound. I'm like, no, it's safe as sound. I said, because it's dit da at the last, second to last, and then dit dit dit, which is A and S. And he looked it up, and he's like, huh. And then he goes, dit da dit dit is the and sound, which is true. So it's the spacing in there that could be construed. So it is technically safe and sound on Morse code on the bottom, but it is funny because you can absolutely read it as safe as sound. That was the running joke there. Cognition says R1 is vapor. Canon is too afraid to call something its flagship for fear that Sony will smash them immediately. I don't know. What I know about Canon is something changed in them, and they stopped being like fast. And I don't know what it was. Were they resting on their laurels? I don't know what. Because they were just pumping out cameras left and right, and then poof, nothing. And the world was going to 4K, and Canon's like, we've got 2K. Here's a new version of our 2K. Here's a new one. And it took them forever to bring out 4K. And it feels like now they kind of caught up, and then again they just kind of come to a stop, and it's weird. I don't think Sony smashing them is true. What I would say is that Sony does a very good job of marketing. Sony has very good, simple is the wrong word, but their color science out of the gate looks really good. The Canons can be a little warm and push towards magenta unless you use it in the logs, and then you got to really kind of work with them. It could be that they don't have anything yet, that they're literally waiting for stuff to happen internally so that they can get something. I don't know. It is weird. I don't know. King says, I think there's some truth to your comment. I mean, does any company fear releasing something because someone's going to make something better? Why would you release it? Why would you not? Why would you do any work ever if you're afraid that the competition was going to instantly smash you? If that is literally your internals, then you're not dreaming big enough. You're not thinking big enough. You're not pushing the envelope. That's a very good point, but it also means that we need to remember how much to allocate towards lighting budgets. It is true. It is true. Lucas says, sorry, not impressed with those cooks not spending 4K for all that CA. I hear you. I find that I liked the lenses. The one I was the least happy with was the 50. And usually the 50 is like the one that everybody does really well because it's so relatively easy to do. And it was the most bland. The 32 I liked because of the funkiness. The funkiness on that 32 was cool. The 25 was better than the 32. But to me, the 32 with the 100, like as just a 2-lens set, was absolutely gorgeous and not directly matched, but matched in such a way that it complemented each other, even though they were not the same. Because the 32 was way funkier than the 100. The 100 was sharp as all get out. Timmy says, speaking of older movies, I would love to ask your opinion about the future of physical media for movies and games and music. So it's a tough one. What it's a double-edged sword. It's always when physical media controlled music, it was always a problem for me. It was always one of those, but you said it would come down in price. You said it would get better. You said all these things. And really what you had over and over again was those that had the power in the industry, the record labels, would tell you what you would listen to. And they would always put out a couple of good songs on an album and then 7 really bad songs. Always. There was never, other than a compilation album, which you had to have purchased 5 or 12 other albums over the years in order to get to that point, it was never a value, but it was nice owning the physical media. When streaming came along, it kind of destroyed the big labels to a point. Now they do it differently, and they're still in control to a point, but not quite as much as they were. Anybody now can get their music heard. Same thing with get their videos seen. You can put it out on YouTube and get it seen. Where the problem comes in is you're only as good now as your latest streaming whatever for someone to stay interested in subscribing. The streaming platforms, the way that they're doing this and the way they're setting it up, I believe is doomed to fail because, well, it's doomed to fail in the way that it has failed with cable over the years. And that is, what are you doing? You trying to sneak away? Bundling. They bundle all this crap. And Amazon is prime example. Good pun. Where they're now going to charge you ads for the thing they said would never have ads. Oh, we don't ever do ads in our Prime, but now your Prime does have ads. Oh, you want to remove the ads? $3. Okay, why not just increase the price $3 and don't have ads? Why soften the blow? Because that's what they're doing. They're doing it to see how many people react, because a percentage is going to say, fine, show me the ads. And what they're hoping is that they can just keep hammering on your head until you just give up and go, fine, I'll just take all the ads. And then they get all the ads and they get to charge you whatever they want, which is where cable was. Physical media you own, you possess. It can never be taken from you, per se. Where I think the problem comes in, and I mean, all of you out there have some MP3s. You all do. Probably none of you have deleted your MP3 store that you had, your gigs and gigs of MP3s. Some of you may not even own an MP3. That's or not own. Actually, I did buy some MP3s. Some of y'all might not ever do that, and that's fine. Same thing with movies. Some of y'all have some copies of movies. Every movie that I've ever bought, and I have bought thousands, I rip them and I put them on my server. My server here locally. I don't have to have the physical media now, but I do because that's what I bought. So I have to have that for the license. it comes down to no one can take away that that copy that I have on my my server. You can't take it away from me. But if I have your iTunes and I bought a movie, you can take it away in your legalese, your terms and conditions. It says there are times when a movie can be taken away, even though you bought it, even though it says you bought it, they can take it away, and it has happened. So that's why I feel like it's going to backfire. What's going to happen is there's going to be a few people that stream. Those people are going to rip it and share it to the world, and then those people are going to have all of it as physical copies virtually. Yeah, that's kind of what I feel like. Yeah, the R3 wasn't supposed to be it, but they got scared of the last second commitment issues. Yeah, but they've got the new one. The R3 with global shutter in 2025. Did you hear Best Buy? Yeah, I did. I saw the photos of the bare shelves, and I think it's dumb. What's going to happen in the short term is prices are going to go through the roof as availability goes down. Although, to be fair, Best Buy was never selling that many physical copies because whatever they would sell it for, Amazon would beat it by a penny or what have you, and so everybody would just buy it on Amazon. Amazon's going to raise their prices. What's going to happen? If it's anything like Sony's attempt with the A9 III, Canon is welcome to make a flagship. Sounds like their global shutter attempt is a tad half-baked based on the implementation. I'm starting to read that in there as well, Gregory. Brandon says, I asked a question a couple weeks ago about a piece of gear that extends upwards and holds a camera. You said something about stay tuned. Can you allude to anything? Which extends upward and holds a camera. I am trying to match the product that I saw with the question. Right now, I'm not clicking to what it was. Can you ask the question a little more specific so I could jog my memory as to which product it was that I matched in my brain? I haven't heard any detractors regarding. Oh yeah, there's detractors. There's some funny things going on, and they're not quite got their finger on it, and it's right now they're in firmware 1.0. There are only, I think I heard 24 copies of the A9 III out there that float around. The real A9 III releases in March, so there's time to fix. My interest is really focused on how physical media and distribution correlate to the future of film. A lot of films were possible because the physical distribution helped make back on budget. Yeah, that is true. The real bummer here is that unless Hollywood / union productions change the way they do things, there's going to be a massive collapse at some point. It has to. Because you can't make a $300 million movie and release it on streaming and hope to ever make your $300 million back. Look at Amazon and the not the Lord of the Rings, but the one that they bought that is not doing that well, but they spent so much money on it. Now they're charging $3 for ads. Yeah. I would like to see the next Komodo X in my hand. Still saving up. Fair enough. I mean, gosh, like right now, they just extended those savings until the 15th. So if there was any reason to get it between now and the 15th, it's to save like $2,500 on that production pack. That's a heck of a savings. R5.2, R5C2. What we supposed to see soon? It would be the R5.2 would be the next one out. And it is interesting because now Sony Alpha rumors or whoever it is now saying that Sony is talking about dropping the photography side of the cinema cameras. I wouldn't have a problem with that. In other words, instead of having an A7S3 and an FX3, they just have the FX3. But you got to make sure that the FX3 could do all of the things that the A7S3 could do. I don't know. Limited DR, low light, all the things that Red nailed with Komodo. Well, to be fair, it took Red a long time to get Komodo. And they did fairly well with Komodo. Komodo X, I think, nailed it with global shutter because they got that extra DR back. Where, you know, if you think about it, everything of Red's has had really good dynamic range. And then Komodo comes out at like 15-ish. It was a step back. It was a huge step back. Still way more than anybody else could do. In fact, nobody had a global shutter that could do that. Komodo X comes back with a 16 plus-ish. It's nice. You see tons of aerials that are really bad handheld. Oh, God, yeah. What was it? Lethal Weapon. If you watch the opening of Lethal Weapon, where they're flying around the town in helicopter, it's all handheld in the copter, and it's so jumpy. No one complained. We're confusing Scott. No, he gets confused. Too much side. No, I can never have too much side talk. That's what I do. So they finally released the specs on the DR. They have not released the specs of the DR, but some people who've had it in their hands have spoken about it. And they're basically all being told it's pre-production. It's not quite. I think the R5's disputability spooked them. The heat issues and other I mean, R5 was silly the way that they did things. Now, maybe they know something that we don't, which is, you know, maybe they know that chip that gets too hot, maybe they know that it literally won't last 2 years if it goes beyond a certain temperature. We don't know. We won't know for another couple of years when things start failing. Or maybe they crippled it on purpose. I don't like companies that cripple things on purpose. I really, really don't. Canon doesn't make their own chips, so things like global shutter are a problem. I don't think that's accurate. I'm pretty sure Canon makes their own sensors. Met up with a photographer friend who had a Loner A9 III during the holidays and tested it side by side with my Komodo, and it was disappointing to see something come out 2+ years and be noisier. Now, that was the interesting thing that Jared Poland found, is the R3 compared to the A9 III, the R3 was cleaner in the higher ISOs. The A9 III is even noisier side by side with my 5DSR. Wow. 5DSR is an interesting one. It's a 50 megapixel soft camera. Really interesting. Well, having an omnipresent avenues for distribution and presentation removes the control big houses had over concentrating attention. So superstars are harder to create. So, yeah, but we're all joining again. Paramount is for sale. It's going to be bought by another big one, Time Warner. Great. So we'll have fewer avenues because they're all taking a bath on streaming because Netflix got it right and everybody else got it wrong because they timed it wrong. But did Netflix get it right? Netflix kind of got it right, but we don't really know. We know they make money, but we don't really know how well Netflix does. Depending on the state, they may pass regulations after you purchase, asking you to surrender what you purchased. They could. I mean, that's not gone well in the past. Amazon is offering advertisers a new medium with the same approach as YouTube, but the stupidity of it is that they're Doing it on a subscription package. Oh, yeah. Don't get me started on it. On the other hand, if Amazon offered Prime as free to view with ads and ads free for subscribers, it makes sense. Right. How about they tell you this in their whole thing, which this is what I really dislike about politics, bureaucracies, Amazon, and all these big companies. They all do the same thing. Brief example of bureaucracies. Our budget's $1 billion a year. Let's spend $1.1 billion a year. Oh wait, we're $100 million over. What do? We're going to cut firefighters, police, and emergency services. What about the extra $100 million that you spent on other things? Well, we're not going to cut that. We're going to cut the firefighters. Why do they cut the firefighters? Because those are the things people can't live without, literally live without. So they put you in a bind. They're like, well, you can approve to not give them more money, and you're going to lose your fire, police, and protection. Or you can give them more money. So you give them more money, and what do? They spend more money on these other things, and then the next year, they cut fire again. It's the way they're doing it. That's any politics. It doesn't matter which side, left or right, doesn't matter. They all do it the same way. Amazon's doing the same thing. In their paragraph of, we're raising rates, we're adding commercials. But if you want to pay, it's $3, $3.99, whatever it is. It's 20% is what it is what it boils down to, which is not insignificant. But what they tout is, oh, but look at all these other things that your Prime subscription we gave you. We gave you cheaper prescription drugs. Okay, what if I don't use those? Is that a benefit to me? We gave you access to this. Okay, what if I don't use that? What if I don't purchase anything? What if I don't, all these things that they give you, they didn't ask you if you wanted, and they don't let you take them off. And that is all part of how to grow bureaucracy. And I'm not being political here, but it literally works in politics as well. Amazon wants to grow. They want to get their feet in everything. So they put their feet in everything. And when they have to raise prices for all these things, they don't do it on these things because that would hurt these ability to get in there. No, they do it on the one thing everybody wants. And that's what I don't like. Okay, that was a tangent. Yeah. Oh, it's so interesting that you mentioned that. Yeah, I have no comment at all on that. Oh, Brandon's being obscure on purpose. Sorry, slow on the update. Yep. I'm really slow behind on my my questions, which is pretty rare for me. I also want to talk about, did y'all see in, this is the U.S., in the 2024 defense bill that they signed, that you cannot use a DJI product on anything that receives federal funding, meaning that it kind of a gray area for drone operators and gimbal operators and such because we're subcontracted, but it's interesting because it kind of just, the whole lobby thing kind of just blew up in everybody's face. And so now if you get a job for, say, the National Parks and Wildlife, and they say, or the National Park System, and they say, we want you are such a great drone operator. We want you to tell the story of every national park. Cool. You're hired by the federal government. You can't use DJI. What are you going to use? Skydio? Skydio doesn't have really good cinema stuff. It's a good one to talk about. I use my 65mm MPE macro to peek at the photo sites of the A9 III, and there's something odd going on. There are two different sizes. Didn't I read, I may be just making this up, But didn't I read that they were doing the same thing that Blackmagic did on the 12K camera, where there are extra photo sites that don't have color. They're just there for luminance, but they're counting them. I feel like it may not have been the A93, but I think it was. Cognition, do you know what's going on with GDU's new Neutron stuff? It was supposed to be available 6 months ago. I don't know what the current status is on it. I can ask. I may not get an answer, but I can ask. Okay, so let's see here. I will find out if I can. Canon's made a ton of cams, some overlapping each other. Their offerings aren't too clear. Sony is way worse at it though. Their cameras overlap like crazy. How much are they selling Paramount for? What if we all chipped in to Komodo? I would love that. I would love that. I don't think we can afford it. Pretty sure it's billions. What would we get out of Paramount? We get Star Trek. That's it. Jobs. I mean, it's true. We get a really cool studio. The controlling forces have many despicable tricks up their sleeve for suppressing the masses and keeping them preoccupied. Well, this is true. This is very true. Thinking more like some sick IPs? Maybe. Yeah, politics sucks. Let's get back to cameras. Indeed. Politics is what brought us cameras. True. Oh yeah. Let's see if King goes where I'm going, but it's the evolution of cameras was advanced heavily by a certain world event. In order to get the messages of the master, you need photography to print and videography for dumb box. Yeah, but there was far more advancements in photography that occurred from there. Jason Morris, hey, from Australia, love your work, Scotty. Thank you, Jason. I appreciate that. Oh wow, Scott's got clout. I don't know about that, but isn't Australia a big Texas island? I mean, Australians are kind of like Texans in a lot of ways. Oops, I can see that. I don't know. What say you, Jason? Would you want to be considered Texas, or do you like being? I mean, not to remove Australia from its own, but would you like being called a Texas-like? I don't know. Give up for them. Star Trek is life. I mean, it's true, and I like the old adage that the odd-numbered Star Trek movies are the worst, except for the first one. I really like the first one. I really, really like the first one. Sony is reusing and rehousing cameras like nobody's business. That 12-megapixel sensor is like it's true, and so is their new A7R5. It's now the A7CR or whatever. Yeah. Wine. LOL. We aren't allowed guns. Well, but what if you could? I mean, Texas is definitely different from that. And I'm not sure, never say never, but I'm not sure that's ever going to change in Texas. And I said ever, not never. Never say never, but you can say ever. Oh man, I caught up with all the ooh, what'd I get? What is this? A merlot. A fresh merlot. Rex is like, it's 5 o'clock, let me out. Huh? Take the dough out now. Because it was cold last night, and that's why it tore on me when I was doing my stretch. So it needs to be at least an hour. Oh man, I thought the dog pic was a still. Was that yes? I've embraced AI. That's my dog. It's not actually AI. His name is Al. A-L. It's just a uppercase I. No, that's Rex. Cognition, you will, if you stick around and join these live streams, you'll see more and more Rex, because Rex, he has his own camera. People really only come to see him. I mean, if you watch right now, like the number of people that are on the live stream is going to drop because Rex left. But Rex is my companion of everything film. He wants to do everything wherever I'm at. But when it's 5 o'clock, he gets up and he leaves. And then he basically tests. He finds out, am I going to be long-winded and stay on? Or am I going to be short? If I'm short, then he's just going to stay out there. But somewhere around 5:20, 5:30, he's going to come back to the door and bark. Gregory says, wouldn't it be cool if everyone in the cinema industry chipped in $1,000 and owned one of the biggest studios? We'd forever get home for Cine gear. Yeah, there's only one problem with that. Everyone throws in their $1,000, and now you have 1 million people with a say. That never works. You could vote, I guess, but then they would literally need to vote for everything. Yeah. At the same time, call dibs on all the cool projects we'd like to work on. That's right. The first one in. It's a pyramid scheme. First one's in. Rex is the He is. He's actually the host. I'm the co-host. You have a Komodo X and a Komodo OG. What third body would you get for a 3-camera job? If I was doing if I had Komodo X and I had Komodo OG, and I wanted a third camera for a 3-camera job, I would probably get another Komodo, because it fits so nicely with A cam being Komodo X and B and C being Komodos. But the reality is, if you're getting a third camera, you get a V-RAPTOR, because that takes you new places. I like dogs more than people, at least sometimes, so that's fine with me. I mean, dogs have an amazing ability to know people. They know good people and they know bad people, and I don't know what it is. There's been a couple of times where Rex, he literally looks at me and he asks if I'm going to tell him it's a friend or not. And there were like 2 instances where I told him it was a friend, but these weren't friends. These were people coming to work on my internet of all things. And I mean, he did not like these 2 people. There's 2 different times, 2 different episodes. I mean, he was growling. I had to put him out. It was weird. And I was with him the whole time. So they didn't do something to him. He did not like those people. I don't know what it was. Rex is the mascot. Deserves a docufilm. Yeah, I've actually sat on that for a while about doing it. That is the way Rex is going to renegotiate. I know. He'll probably do it with a growl. Well, Jason says, I had a guy on my Instagram that questions my LIFO protocol for... He said it doesn't protect it from cable issues. Well, that's correct. LIFO cannot protect you if something happens in the process. That is, unfortunately, the way it works. For instance, let me grab OG here. Oh, gee. There it is. Oh, gee. Okay. So OG is configured right here with the Mutiny, the, what do they call it? The smart switch? Smart. Oh, crap. Really? What's it called? Awesome. Oh, I'm so embarrassed. Anyway, the isolator. There we go. So the Mutiny isolator here has two safeguards built in. You switch it to signal, or switch it from signal, and then you can unplug your monitor, you can change batteries, all that good stuff. You can, if then you forgot and you did it anyway, then it can protect the monitor from surging back into your Komodo. Now, if this cable right here that's connected between the isolator and the Komodo, if it gets cut and it starts, multiple connecting rapidly, that could absolutely cause a failure. But what do we do, Jason, in life? We mitigate everything we can to the point that we can until it is not worth the extra cost to go further. I.e., you drive a car, you buy car insurance. How much car insurance you get? Well, you get enough to cover your car. Do you pay for extra car insurance? Not necessarily. But, there's a point when what you're gaining doesn't really help you as much. LIFO will 100%, every time it's used, will protect you from a short coming from a power surge from a monitor and external device. Unless your cable's bad. If your cable's bad, then it's the cable that is the problem, not the monitor. But we mitigate. That's what we do. So this gives me, the isolator gives me two protections. Two. You do LIFO, that gives you three. Three protections. I mean, we covered every base at that point. If a cable goes bad, it blows it out. Sometimes meteorites fall from the sky and they hit a poor person in their house. Do we need to buy meteorite insurance? No. But does that mean that we shouldn't build a house capable of blocking a bird falling and going through your roof? So yeah, we don't live in tents. We live in houses with roofs to help. But in that, should LIFO be good enough, or is he talking smack? LIFO is absolutely good enough until it's not. And that's just the way it is. But we're talking about what can you do to ensure that you don't cause a catastrophe. And that you being, I have a monitor and I have high voltage coming out of the monitor. We don't know why, but you are physically doing it. If the cable goes bad, is it really you? I mean, it's mitigation. We need to all use Mutiny's isolator. I mean, at some point, somebody should license it and put it in every camera. I mean, why not? An all Komodo setup. I was worried you were going to say mini LF. No, mini LF is it's not my favorite. It's okay. It gets you true 4K, but I'd rather have an Alexa 35 than a mini LF. All right, hold on one second here. I want to see who's coming down my driveway. What is it? Oh. That's Rex. That's funny. I got the driveway alarm going off and just looked at the camera, and Rex is, well, it looks like he's with Cynthia. Okay. So she was probably walking to get the mail, and he was standing his ground to the neighbor dogs that steal packages. Let's see what's next here. Not everyone has a vote. We vote every few years for the select few who have the most experience at running such a company. But we want fresh ideas too. What I want budgets to be cut. But what I also want is it doesn't affect, we cut the frills. In other words, if you have to put up your director in a posh hotel, the very best, and they have to fly back every weekend, and we fly them first class. Let's tone it down a little bit here. Let's fly them coach or give them a couple of coupons and tone down where they stay. I don't feel like everybody deserves a trailer or a full trailer, and I know that some of the SAG people are like, whoa, I worked really hard to get my trailer. That's my point. How much does it cost to have you on set versus the benefit? I'm not specifically saying anybody, just saying a class of actor. Definitely trust Rex no kidding. I would vote for you as my rep. God, Mitchell, I don't trust as much. I don't know that I would want to. To be in the representative of Paramount would probably be a full-time job, which means I don't get to make the movies. I want to make movies. That's what I want to do. Isolator, yeah. That's what I do also, Cognition, is I phase out. I go into a different dimension and can't pull the words out. That happens with age, yeah. And it also happens with an ADHD brain that's going 1,000 miles an hour. Oh, wait. Everyone and their aunt will have the opinion on Instagram about everything. I've got just as bother me from time to time. I'm enjoying the new Small Rig Pro battery for use on my mirrorless bodies. I don't think it's my first choice for cinema bodies, though. I hope to be able to test it and find out. We'll see. Jason said, thanks, Scotty. Really appreciate it. Picking one up now for sure. Watch my review on it. I explained the whole process. Because what everybody's been selling before is those galvanic isolators. And they don't work. They don't. There's been zero proof that they work. So, yeah. And it's kind of like the old adage is that if they worked, why wouldn't every manufacturer just build it in? In the case of this, why wouldn't every manufacturer build it in? Well, it just happened. Mutiny and Freak Show just put that together. And so now, like I said, I don't see why. If 12G is going to continue to be 12G, and then 24G, even worse, be as soft as it is, then it wouldn't suck to have that all licensed. I'm sure right now Mutiny and Freak Show is going, oh, Scott, thank you. Just buy me a cup of coffee. Just kidding. I don't want to. I mean, if it works, it works, and that works. So that's why I have it. And I literally, I own one of them. It goes on the rental camera. When the camera gets rented, it goes on there. Even though I only rent to people I trust, I still put it on there. We mitigate we mitigate our exposure to damage is what we do. Thanks for the comment, King. But I'm barely running my teeny tiny company as it is. Can't say I'm top people. Cognition, thank you. Gregory, haha, true, true, true. Love this community. Respect the modesty. Did I miss it? Did I? Oh, I missed it. Oh, I missed it. Sorry, King. Yeah, yeah. You sent it to Greg, not to me. Totally cool. Totally cool. Gregory is definitely level-headed. He would. I would vote for Gregory, but he might want to make movies too. It's Gerard. Is it? Where's Gerard? AJ's more so sub to you too. Glad to be able to help you for once instead of the other way around. How many hours on KOG do you have clocked in? That's a good question. Komodo X does not have as much hours as I would expect. Let's look it up. Oh, that's going to be good. Well, that's charged enough. That was not the V-mount charger. I think Komodo X. Now, Dragon over there's got a whole lot. Here's set to isolation. Yeah. Power it up. Stupidoo. Let's see. Let's see. I like first class. Carlos, take one for the team. How about this, Carlos? We're going to let you make your movie, but we're not going to let you have first class. Yen? See? We can accommodate. We're going to let you have 3 grips, a key grip, gaffer, a couple of electricians. We're going to have a few PAs, but we're going to get our act together, and we're not going to use PAs for running little errands because we didn't do our homework. Yeah. All right, let's see what I got here. System camera info. I have 585 hours on the Komodo OG. The Komodo X, I think, has it's somewhere. I think it has about 300 on it right now. Not a whole lot. The Dragon over there now. Let's see what he's got. Let me go put this over here. Get it out the way. Oddly enough, as much as I enjoy my props and burning them, I don't like putting my gear around it because I'm smart. Let's see here. We're going to do backup. Oh, there it is. System status, camera info. 728 hours on Dragon. Now that is my second Dragon. The first one went. So yeah, that. We should be hearing a Rex here in about 10-15 minutes. Komodo X has and a third different sensor to match the same project. Komodo X, and a third same project, especially one of the different workflows. Certainly looking for. Oh yeah, if you throw an LF in there, oh yeah. So you have a partnership between Freak Show and Mutiny to build that. Freak Show builds a lot of distribution and mostly distribution for SDI systems, electronic systems for that. They have the knowledge to be able to build those small little circuits that do that. So the Mutiny isolator is a partnership between Freak Show and Mutiny. Mutiny builds the device. The Freak Show builds the protection in that part of it. So it's a match made in heaven. And Freak Show engineered one of the levels of the protection in there electronically. Galvanic isolator, like the one sold by the 4-letter camera company, is only worth it for offering a free replacement for SDI circuits when they get fried. It's true. You buy the area isolator for, what is it, like $189, and if you use it, they'll cover it. Even though galvanic isolator is not very expensive. Samuel says, I've been silent, but I'm here. Hi to everybody. Hello, Samuel. Hi. What's up? Okay. I will walk to work fine. See, you want to make a movie too. And I feel like, in that case, so many directors, actors, DPs, whoever, producers, they can all give a little so that things get made. I could be wrong. If you fry your SDI, then my company can become a 4-letter company. Yeah, that's true. You will hear a lot of 4-letter words if you are on set with a fried SDI and no backup. Sup, Tyler? Hey, it's deep. Nuclear Dragon. It's Jed. Woohoo! Oh man, what happened? Did the floodgates kick on? Is everybody off work or something? Because like all of a sudden it went from like 17 people to 34 people in there. Careful how you allocate those PAs. No. There's a limited supply, and I hear our common acquaintance runs PA Farm where they torture them to make filters, albeit in surprisingly humane conditions. I've heard the tears of those PAs, but as I understand, that company is giving back and helping communities of PAs become reacquainted with society in ways that they weren't allowed before, as the personal driver of the coffee. And can you drop off this cable that we broke? And why is it taking you 2 hours to drive a 3-hour drive? That reminds me of this filter that absolutely does not exist yet. I don't know when I get to say anything about it. Waiting for your comparison, Z8 versus Moto. Z8. How you feel, guys, in having mini cameras? I have Komodo OG, Ursa 12K, and Z8, and sometimes I feel too heavy. Carlos has a way of doing that, which is do more with less. It's a motto. But then he just bought a V-RAPTOR, so I don't know how Carlos. How's that working? How's that working exactly? No, it's the old adage: work harder, not smarter. No, I'm pretty sure that's the wrong adage. Work smarter, not harder. It was like 1,000 voices cried out all at once and then silenced. Yeah, you could definitely be heavy, but you can also not. Samuel, you have a cool action camera, you have a good 4K camera, and you have a stills camera. That feels just fine to me. I have a stills camera. I have Rex's other stills camera down there. I have OG, and I have Komodo X, and I have Dragon. But Dragon is going to be sold because I don't use it as much. God, I just need to list it. I just cry a little bit every time. King Crook Gaming is online. Cognition, Tyler Edwards. I think I will be buying the Bright Tangerine RS2 compatible bridge plate and riser setup. Thanks for introducing me to that. I was searching around for a compatible way to tripod to RS. There you go. You can also do the same thing, cognition with the Kessler. Let's see. No, the Kessler one is not for the DJI. Yeah, the Kessler one is for the Movi. But Kessler has one as well that does the same thing. If the gear can pull more weight, you can get more done with less gear and crew. Yes. If you have a zoom lens that can pull its weight with primes, why not? I mean, that's why for the longest time, I mean, the Sigma 18 to 35 and the 50 to 100, those were my machines because those could pull their weight. Let's see here. Did y'all see the beef going on between the Moto Crane and Tilta with their patent dispute? And it is it's a tough one because I definitely support IP and protecting. But it is interesting, not taking a side, but it's interesting that other people have been using, I don't know, it's kind of a gray area. Just like magic, we get Rex. Hey, buddy. We turn on the Rex cam. Where you going? Oh, he wants water. Is there any water in there? I mean, what they patented was suction cups to the top of a car. What's up? No, not really. You can choke it. And they're going back and forth. It's rather interesting. I feel like Moto Crane should sue. Just sue and be done with it. Don't go to the social medias and do the tell the world thing. I understand why they're doing it, but just sue. Let the courts decide. If IP's been stolen, the courts will tell you. I have, let's see. I've got the Deity Theos to review. Just came in today. I have the Tilta wireless follow focus, which is surprising good and way better than their previous. It's not the it's the Nucleus N2, but with the extra handle, and you could drive up to 4 motors. It's pretty good. A little quirky. Review coming on that soon. I have a lot of Aputure stuff here to review. Lots of fun stuff and lots of little lighting things going on. Yeah, I've got. We have a massively huge goal this year that I'm not going to make public, and anyone that happens to know should not make public until we deem such a time as to make it public. But it'll be interesting to see if we get there. That was weird. Let's see what other. There's and no one ever commented on the make a commercial together idea. Does anybody think that's a dumb idea? ZBrush 8 is over a decade old. Current Moto can do some sculpting, but still not that level. I think Axibo is the new company to watch out for. They're like iFootage of camera movement, bringing roboticized, sophisticated camera movement at affordable prices. Axibo's cool. Axibo's not without problems. I would say keep your eyes open soon, really soon, as you're about to see the thing that Axibo has Others do. Let's see here. I was worried Macon would drop the ball on ZBrush, but I'm glad it's awesome. But the subscription. Ooh. Gamaletin, your video and audio is not synced. That is because I'm on StreamYard. As you can see up there, because StreamYard hates me. And whatever reason, they cannot receive a 720p signal and keep me in sync. So I will come and go as it is. Why are you having this problem constantly? Is it because of StreamYard? It is StreamYard, and it is also Starlink. But it is because StreamYard through Starlink, and it's not just StreamYard, it's also the other one that I tried and couldn't. I need to do, that's what it is. This table was high. I just put wheels under my table, and my table felt like it was, I was looking like a little kid at the big table. Subscription is the Dyson of payment plans. Sucks. 4-letter word. I like the commercial idea. All right, Carlos, you and me, buddy, we're going to make a commercial. Well, we're going to script one out or figure one out here. Watching Scott is like watching a... I mean, so the truth is, I can make it go away instantly. But I can't stream to Facebook and X and YouTube all at the same time, and I can't have guests because you never know when a guest wants to pop in. Because if they want to pop in, by golly, I'm going to let them pop in because I care. I care enough to send the very best, like a Kodak moment. Speaking of Kodak moment, anybody buy the $5,000 8mm now? That thing was, it was really cool when it was 2. Then it was 3, and now it's 5. Who sent me a message? Yep, there you go. Thanks for the live. Got to run. Catch you later. See you, Carlos. Have a happy new year there. Have a great weekend, Carlos. Carlos, stay snow-free. No. Snow is wonderful. Who doesn't love snow? Rex's comments are in sync. What's your excuse, Scott? Well, the problem with Rex is you just can't shut him up. He's like looking around going, "Are you talking about me? What's up, buddy? What's up?" They said your comments are better than mine and in sync. Do you like in sync, or are you a Backstreet Boys kind of guy? Come on, tell me. Which one is it? Which one is it? Backstreet Boys? You want it that way? Is that what it is? Ooh, that's a good boy. That's a good boy. You tell him. You tell him. He's going to yawn at you. I know my dog. LOL. Let's see here. $5,000 8mm. What? Yeah, so Kodak released or teased like 5 years ago a new 8mm film camera. And it was going to be $2,000. Then it was like $27.99. And they finally came out with it exclusively through B&H only. And it's $5,000. I'm like, all right, neat. It just became a rental only and probably not that much. Yeah, it's a weird one. Hey, Ghoul, I am live on YouTube, it says. I did not know that. Scooby-Dooby-Doo, be-dooby-doo. Let's see here. So what else is going on? Y'all never told me your goals. I know Gregory's goal is to buy Paramount now and then become like the grand poobah of Paramount. We shall call him Paragreg or Greg Mount. I don't know. The Caramount. The Paracarides. That's what it is. Someone received pants as a Christmas gift. So long, man, with no pants. Well, I mean, it is cold outside right now. And I'm wearing pants because I also am so exceptionally cheap that I don't like to put on the heat. It's all good. Do you still use Premiere for any conveniences over Resolve? I have not opened Premiere in over 2 years. Nope. There's not one thing now that I wish Resolve did that Premiere does. Because Resolve does it all. Even Rex agrees. Zoom in on him. Look how happy he is. He's like, Scott didn't come back out. Low temps would be my second guess. I mean, I could totally do the man with no pants, but if I got up, it would be a totally different show. And then YouTube would be like, but you said there was no violent, horrible, dark things on your videos. We'll have to demonetize you. Yep. So, what else is going on? What are y'all's goals for the year? There's only 16 likes? Man, there's like 24 people online. There's only 16 likes. That is so sad. Sad. So there was 103 people that joined. Barking Chihuahua goals to make a modest living as a documentary filmmaker. I like your goals, sir. I like your goals. And maybe I can help out locally in the next month when you tell me when we're doing what we're doing. That's a good goal. I would like to help you achieve your goals, sir. I would indeed. I would indeed. What else was there to chat about? Our likes are implied. Unfortunately, the algorithm doesn't respect it. That's true. The algorithm doesn't respect much of anything, really. And it's he just got super comfortable, didn't he? Oh, he's gonna like, ugh, YouTube algorithm, stop talking about it. Ugh, it's so horrible. How do you even decide what documentary to go after? Personal passions. The best documentaries are always ones that you have a passion for. Right, buddy? He's trying to get traction. He ain't got it. Well, it'd be nice if I knew how to use a Zoom. Swiss Army Cinema. How about we make a immodest living for once? I don't know. Define that. What would it look like? Yes, Scotty and Curtis on set together is a good thing. Scotty and Curtis anywhere is pretty much a good thing. We're like that. We're like that power team that can do high fives and miss, but then catch it on the bottom side and miss. That's us. Jed says, is it just me? Who does everyone's YouTube random play always end up with D person composing channel? It's always that. No, mine is always. I don't know what the heck is wrong with you people. You got to stop. I'm going to be real with you for a minute. Y'all got to stop watching these hot tent videos. I don't care about hot tent videos, but my God, every freaking time I'm on my recommended, it's 5 hot tent videos. I've never watched one. Even accidentally, if I watch one, I pull it right out. I delete it from my watched so that it never shows up. But guess what? It keeps showing back up. Hot tent. It's not good. It's dumb. Ugh. Hot tent. Personal passions, yes. But not to be confused with purple passion, which is Everclear and really, really bad decisions. That's spelt right. It's a weird name. Indeed it is. By far the best for documentary. Of course, you need to consider commercially viability if the business side is important to you. As I spoke to a big producer in documentaries, you can make a documentary for one of three reasons. You can put people in seats, you can make money, or you can win awards. But that's it. You can't do two of them. You definitely can't do three of them. It's so rare that that ever happens. But those are your choices when it comes to documentaries. So, do you want to win an award? Do you want to get people to watch it? Or do you want to make money? Jed, my YouTube random usually ends up with some Frozen sing-along. You've got kids! So which side plate do people prefer? Mid-49, Mutiny, or bits and pieces including XLR ports or other breakouts? Lining up my Komodo X rigging. Really waiting on the GDU Neutron. They're all really good options. I have the Mid-49. I think it's fantastic. I have the Mutiny X plate on order, hopefully shipping this next week. I got a red one. I'm going to have a candy cane for a Komodo X. I like it as well. It has some really cool features in there as well. So, honestly, there's a lot of choices out there. None of them are really bad. So look at, are you the kind of person who likes to put stuff everywhere on your camera? You're just constantly adding stuff. Then the Mutiny is going to be a lifesaver for you. Are you one that wants it slim and compact and I don't want a lot of options? Then the Mid-49 is slim and compact and not a lot of options. Do you want to have the infinite expandability in the world? Then the GDU might be the way to do it. Or a combination of all of them. And this one little hair that I've missed now 3 times. Jed says, LOL, I'm going for all 3. I want a red one. There's, I think, one left. If you run the Mutiny.store, I think there's one X plate that's red left. It may be sold out. I don't know. There was one just the other day, and that's it. There were only 10, I think, that were being made. So rush in to get that. I'm using a custom designed topside plate that I want to refine before I share it with the world. Ooh, Mr. Greg, the inventor of the lens cuff and the Komodo cuff, or the the X cuff. That's probably not a good name because people would be searching for that for different reasons. Are there any improvements with the big XLR over small? I find it a bit clunky, and I know people use it. It's literally just the standard. Everybody can use the standard. That's why they do it. Cognition, I asked Avery to add, or maybe it was his partner, Sutton, a 4-pin high rose to the breakout box. They're working on it for sound devices compatibility. Interesting. Yeah, I mean, they could possibly do something for that, for sure. With them, for sure, you just need enough people with the interest, and Sound Devices has a lot out there. So, yeah. Oh, it's sold out, I asked. Oh, that sucks. That sucks. Oop. Where you going, buddy? You going over here? I'm sorry? Go ahead. The wife is making an appearance. It's like Bigfoot walking through. What do you? Oh, I know what she's grabbing. It's delicious. It's in a can, and they don't make it the exact same anymore. You have to get it. It's the same. It's got a new. I know we're going to need it because you're going to make some more dough right after this. This right here, Red Pack Puree tomatoes. This is the key to Scott's awesome tomato sauce recipe for pizza. So good. You can enjoy it too just by buying Red Pack Puree tomatoes. That's right, Red Pack tomatoes in the puree. And for whatever reason, this size can tastes better than the smaller can. There she goes. It's like Bigfoot. Just. What's up, Rex? What you doing? You can hit the oven now. Gregory's got my attention. Hi, wife. Where are you going? What are you doing, buddy? Oh, you want me to get up? Well, it's not time yet, buddy. I usually do 2 hours, unless the conversation just kind of falls off, and then I leave it at early. You know, I will turn this car around. I will do it. He's over here. He's not even visible in the. Whoops. Nor am I. Apparently. Well, you can kind of see part of him, and part. Oh, there he is. Let's zoom in on him. Oh, he's like hiding. So I can hide. He's all sly. He's like, I outsmarted you. Yeah, he kind of did, actually, because he's hidden behind the post. Oh, look at that. I just moved my post around. Cognition, what area of the globe are you in, Scott? Wondering where that tomato sauce is available. I am in Texas, the big state of Texas. That tomato sauce is available worldwide. It is Redpack is a worldwide distribution. The new one, though, is it's a different Redpack tomato puree. I mean, you could do just the whole tomatoes and puree it yourself. Just don't overdo it, because the key here is you don't cook your pizza sauce. Yeah, now it's called fancy tomato puree. You can buy it on Amazon. If you look at my pizza recipe, it's on raw cuts. So if you just search for Balcom raw cuts, or best New York pizza raw cuts, I have the whole recipe and everything there, and I explain everything as I do it. Looks like a pack of 6 of those cans is $45, which seems high. I did not pay that much. I bought a bunch, though. Once I determined that those were the bestest, I bought 12 of them. And I paid a lot less. I paid $58 for 12 of them. 29-ounce cans. So, and they're currently unavailable in that form, but they do have them in the others. Yeah, it's awesome. Awesome. Very nice. Very nice. Jed says, thin pizzas are the go, but sometimes a regular Aussie thick top pizza is all right. What's a thick top? Define that. We have 4 styles of, 5 styles really. There's Neapolitan, which is like the European, throw it all on a little pizza. There's New York, there's Chicago, there's Detroit. And Neapolitan. So I guess there's 4. New York, Chicago, Detroit, and Neapolitan. Yeah. So that's it. So yeah, I don't know what a thick top is. That sounds like Chicago. It could be Detroit. Thin for the win. I like the way you rhyme, my friend. Frank says, tomorrow's the day smoked salt on New York USDA prime steaks. Hello, Frank. Awesome, dude. Don't be shy with the salt. Trust me, it's good. You can always, if it tastes salty, you can always just scrape off the top with your fork. But it's not going to taste salty. It's going to taste good. Good. I can't remember, Frank, did you get the pepper too? Put the pepper on there too. It's so good. What I do the salt, I do the pepper, and then I do garlic powder. And then I take, I have silicone tongs, and I kind of just push down it. That way it sticks into it, because I don't put anything on the steak. I put a little oil in the pan, and then my foot is in the way of Rex. I and then I press it down. What I usually do on the steaks now is I put it between the tongs, and I put it in 30 seconds on the edges, 30 seconds on this edge, 20 seconds on this edge, 20 seconds on the two short edges. And then I do 1 minute per side flipping, or 30 seconds per side, whichever you want. So you flip it and you move it to the other pan, or other side of the pan, back and forth, you keep flipping it. And then the last 2 minutes, I put in a bunch of Kerrygold butter, Irish butter, and then I spoon baste the steak, and then I flip it, and I spoon baste, and then I flip it, and then I spoon baste. It's a win, 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 win. Thick top, lots of ingredients on top, each other rather than an Italian thin. Got it. That's a Chicago. I call that lasagna pizza. And it's fine. I don't mind Chicago deep dish. But what I don't like about it, call me fat. I enjoy eating like 4 or 5 slices of pizza. That's not possible with Chicago. You get one in, you're like going, I need another piece of pizza, but I can't. What do you think of the name Gotham City Productions? My wife hates it. You might look to see if it's taken, because there's a lot of Gothams out there. I don't mind it, but you have to live with your wife. So, happy wife, happy life. Just saying. Unless she says that you should name it the Happy Friends Cinema Production Company, then yeah, just do Gotham. Just don't even ask her opinion anymore. And you can tell her I said that. Not really. Don't say that, because then you won't get to watch me. I've always wondered why the state is called Texas. Is it a union where many Texas came together to form the Texas? Well, Gregory, it's an interesting point. Tejas, or Texas, as it originally was a huge country, all of its own territory, really. It actually went all the way from Texas all the way up to Idaho. It was huge. It went through Colorado, all the above, all the way up. Wyoming, it was all Texas. And that was the Texas territory. We were a proud little country. Well, until that whole thing happened. I don't know what happened. Texas was the nexus of Mexis. But I'll tell you one thing, Cognition. I like your recumbent bike. The good thing about Texas and Mexico is Texas makes really good food. Mexico makes really good food. But Texas making Mexico food? Ooh, it's good. It's basically like Mexican food with cheese. Cheese makes everything better. Cheese, butter, bacon, garlic. Scotty, smoky salt, and pepper. Those 6 things make everything better. I mean, literally. You add one of those 6 to anything, and it's going to be better. I don't care what it is. Your tax returns, you add garlic to your tax returns, and your auditor's like, I can't audit you. You smell delicious. It's the way it works. Then Scotty, smoky salt and pepper, everything. I'd put it in milk if I could. Chicago has a style with Gino's East, yes, where the ingredients are under the cheese. We also do a great thin piece. The real question is, do you like pie slice or grid slice? Oh, no, it's got to be slice. I'm not Detroit. It's got to be pie. I mean, I posted on Facebook last night my pie from last night, which was delightful, as tonight's pie will be too as well. I'll even show a picture of my pie. Maybe I won't. Oh, because I posted it from... No, last night, late night, we had a neighbor that posted on our Facebook group that Found a black panther running around, a black mountain lion, 2 miles from the house. I had to go out and investigate, knowing full well that there are no such things as black mountain lions or panthers of any kind in North America. But by golly, someone asked me to get video of one, and I'm going to try. So I was out late last night trying to get that. And that has nothing to do with the pizza, but I will pull up the pizza now, and I will send it over so we can kind of see it. So that goes, and that goes to there. And then we're going to do the old-fashioned, just hold up the iPad for the shot. I mean, look at this delightful pizza. Isn't that wonderful? You can see, for scale, my finger. It was huge. It was 15 and a half inches in diameter. And then there's this.
And for anybody claiming my pizza's too soggy, are you kidding me? No way.
That pizza holds up on its own. It's good pizza. It's good pizza. Danny, hello. Tejas means friend. I mean, it's funny. You see Texas in a movie and everybody's got a cowboy hat and they talk like this and cows are walking up and down the street. But you come to Texas and everybody's the nicest people. They have beautiful people. Everybody's nice. It's wonderful. I need to pick up the pepper. That Irish butter is the best. Kerrygold. Someone used Google. Frank, the pepper is worth its weight in gold. Why is Texas best at barbecue? Because we don't care. We don't, Texas literally does not care about Kansas City or South Carolina. We kind of a little bit care about Alabama after Ollie said that there's that white barbecue sauce that I still haven't tried. We don't care what other people think. We just keep refining and doing our thing better. Everybody else says Texas barbecue is better, except for those 4 people from Kansas and the 3 people from South Carolina and those 2 people from Memphis. No, why is Texas best at barbecue? We're just a different barbecue. We're dry rub. A lot of places like to baste and such. A dry rub. I really like Texas barbecue. I feel like barbecue now, don't I? I would like, I think I have brisket. Oh, I need to do that. Global Shutter will go far in capturing that Black Mountain shooter's demise. Black Mountain, no. No, we're not shooting we're capturing. We don't shoot. Meat straight off the barbecue is the best. I mean, Bobby. No, it's not, Jed. And let me educate you for just a moment. Meat needs to rest. There's a lot of science behind it. But you take a brisket straight off the barbecue, it'll taste good. But if I take that brisket off the bobby, wrap it in aluminum foil, wrap that in a towel, and place it in a cooler for 40 minutes, and then pull it out and cut it, it will be the juiciest, best brisket you've ever had. Boom. Yeah, Cognition, raw cuts. Just type in Balcom raw cuts, and you'll see my pizza video out there, as well as several other videos, and more to come. I promise it. I promise it really is. I literally every night think up ways that I can get this back running quickly. It take up as least amount of space possible. I literally every night search Facebook Marketplace and Craigslist looking for the final touches because I'm cheap and I have no money. Gregory says, Jed, I threw some raw shrimp on Madonna's Bobbies. Did not work. You know why? Because you don't have your salt and pepper yet. If you had Scotty B. Good's, Applewood smoked pepper and salt. You know what's next on there? We're going to try some other smoked woods on there, just for some different flavor profiles. But I want to do garlic. But I've got to figure out how best to get garlic and smoke it and get it where it's usable. Because most people use granulated garlic. Some people use fresh cut. It's got to be a way. And I'm thinking it's black garlic smoked. That's what I'm thinking. Cognition, same with Chicago. People come to Chicago thinking they're going to see gangsters shooting it out in the street. Problem is, they all get their money's worth if they go to the South Side, for sure. I actually like Chicago. Like, there's a lot of Chicago that's really cool. And then there's, like, gangsters shooting it up. That does happen. Soul just picked it up. Did you? Oh, Frank, you're so sweet. Looking for that order. You did. Oh, you did, too. You're like, dude, I'm going in hard. He went for the full refill. Good for you, Frank. Good for you. I appreciate you, buddy. You're going to love it. You really are. It's good. And try it on green beans, man. I gotta get my cooking going. I gotta get it. I promise one video every 2 weeks. I promise it's coming. I'm literally making the food every night. It's just you know how in the world of creatives, our work is never really finished. It's simply abandoned. That's the way it is with my cooking as well. I never feel like it's perfect, and I want you guys to have perfect. The New York pizza is pretty close to perfect, but I still feel like there's a little bit of growth I could do on it, which will make another nice video, but I can't just do pizza videos. I mean, I could. Be kind of tasty. I disagree. Haha, baby. It's only applies to sausages, though. Real name is David. Got it, David. I got you, David. Now I'm going to remember, David, because I've used your name 3 times, David. Now 4. Now I'm going to forget it. Actually, I remember David because my neighbor's name is David. And I rarely ever forget his name. Drew. Any rumors on the Canon R5C or C70 replacement? The only rumors I know is that we should see the R5C, R5 II before NAB. But that's not a guarantee because it wasn't last time. David sounds too professional. Yeah, brother. Yeah, cognition. Yeah. Dave the Cognitionator. That sounds both professional and kind of a badass, just a little bit. Are we getting the C90? No, I don't think it's going to be a C90. I don't think it'll be a C90. I'm not sure what they do. I don't know. Smoked black garlic. I'm telling you, Gregory, it's literally been on my list for 2.5 years now for smoked garlic. Black garlic. And then smoking it would just be amazing. Black garlic, if you've never had black garlic, it's like candy. It's so good. I actually haven't seen Shrimp on the Barbie before, and I don't think. Just a movie thing, I think. I mean, shrimp is so boring to cook, and nothing sticks to it. Nothing flavors it unless you put it in delicious garlic and butter. Again, 2 of the 6 things that make everything better. We forgive you, Scott. Sometimes you just need to enjoy no cameras. I know, but you shouldn't forgive me, Jed. You should hold me to it. You should make me put out the food videos. Wow, I just went dark. Black garlic takes 2 to 4 weeks or so at 126 to ferment. Gregory, there is a secret, my friend. There is. Oops. Let me put this in here, because if I'm ever going to get any Amazon revenue, it's going to be from this. And I'm not going to get any Amazon revenue from it. But let me put it, wow. This one cooker, and I know you don't have to buy it from Amazon. You don't have to buy it from me because I understand. Let me click on me though, because I want to post this to the chat. And I can post links. Okay. There's our link. I'm gonna pop it up here, which doesn't do any good, except you can take a screenshot and then on an iPhone you can pull it out. Anyway, it is the Zorjushi rice cooker. You can make in 8 days the same black garlic because it can do it. It's amazing, and I've seen people do it, and I know it is possible. But yes, it normally takes 2 to 4 weeks or 6 weeks. And it's not just a dehydration. It can't be dehydration. It has to be done right. But that Zozraji rice cooker, which is a very specific rice cooker, it can actually do black garlic in 8 days. You could do it in 5, but it's 8 days is the real. Real name is Daniel. I've kept your identity safe. No one knew you were Batman, Jed. I never once said your name, Daniel. Batman. Gregory, but it lasts months in a Ziploc bag, and it's not hard either. It's like a paste, and it's sweet. It's wild. I thought you were John Cena with a Z. Time to start saving now, Scott, for later in the year. Cyber Monday deals, right? Z70 versus FX3 versus R5C and Go. Z70 makes a very nice picture. It is a very nice form factor. It has some strange limitations and a giant fat body that doesn't feel quite like a DSLR because it is fatter than a DSLR and taller than a DSLR with a battery pack on the bottom. But it does make some very nice images, has really nice dynamic range, and it is only Super 35, has some limited frame rates. The FX3 has a full frame and does really nice low light, has some really nice images of great dynamic range of about 15 stops. You can also do time code on it. It has some strange limitations, like you can't have a physical shutter on it, and you can't really take photography with it. It is also only a 12 megapixel sensor, and the R5C is a really nice 8K 45 megapixel sensor, which does 8K stills, but not as good as the R5 II, but it can do 8K continuously without overheating, and it has some better codecs in it built in, but it also is a little bit chunkier with a little bit of a fan on the back, almost akin to the C70, which makes you kind of wonder, should they make a C70 Plus with the R5C smacked right together, and you create a wonderful little thing called heaven. There you go. How did that work? C70 versus FX3 versus Z9. Z9 is actually pretty good. I gotta say it's pretty good. Well, that rice cooker looks it is very. Does it do unclip? Yes, it is. That is. So there are a bunch of different rice cookers out there. Believe me, when I spend $150 on a rice cooker, I have done so much research. You literally you set it. It's got all the capabilities in this one. For the type of rice, when you want the rice, how you want your rice. It does it all because it controls everything, and it also probes. It knows how the rice is cooking. It's phenomenal. So we use it all the time for fried rice. You take it out of there, and it's not clumpy at all. But you don't use fresh rice for fried rice. So you take it all out, you spread it all out in a pan, you put it in the refrigerator. Tomorrow, fantastic. You merely adopted the dark. I was born in it, molded by it. Can you turn off the noise reduction in the FX3? A7S3 still has that problem. I don't believe you can. You can never turn off on any of these. Never can you turn off completely the noise reduction on any of them. I don't care what they say. You are not turning it off. On a RAW camera, you can turn it off because it doesn't exist. All right, but smoke is usually around 150 degrees. Cold smoke, which is my salt and my pepper. It's cold smoked. We actually try to keep it around 110 degrees. When I get my big smoker, if the smoking revolution, the smoke salt and everything ever takes off, I'm going to build my giant smoker, which will allow me to really cold smoke it, like at like ambient temperature, 85, 90 degrees, which is even better. You don't want to, it doesn't really hurt salt at all because salt is literally a mineral that's been in the ground at millions of degrees Fahrenheit, whatever. Pepper, you don't want to scald pepper. So you have to definitely be careful with pepper. At ours, we make sure that we have a water bath in there at all times, keeping it moist so that it doesn't dry out. Thanks for the black garlic maker, Gregory. Enjoy, my friend. I'm telling you, it will change your life. Just look it up. Look up that particular rice maker and black garlic. You'll never be the same. Oops. Jumped right ahead. What was your best practice for exposing on ISO? Now, I always would use S-Log3, and I would always push it to plus 1.3 to plus 1.7 on their exposure meter. That's how I would expose. Always. I would never do the 2, and I would never try to do the 1, because you get a little too noisy in the shadows. And I never had problems with it. Thoughts on when Red may release a 5-inch DSMC3 monitor? Really, really, really soon. Really soon. Because there was going to be for Christmas, well, it was going to be the EVF for Christmas, but they decided to give everybody a little break for Christmas. And now it's on the menu real soon. I'm going to have to wrap up here real soon. Man, I remember being in 2010 with a Canon 550D, dreaming of anamorphic cheap. Yeah, yeah, no kidding. We are truly lucky these days. FX30 and FX6, can you turn off the noise reduction? No, you can never turn off the noise reduction. You can diminish the noise reduction. You can never turn it off. Despite saying off, you can't. And if you would see the sensor without it, you would know why. If you want if you want to see the sensor, the FX3 sensor, look up astrophotography. Z, what is it? Starts with a Z. They make a astrophotography camera with that sensor in it, and man, is it a noisy son of a gun! But you have to keep it cold. Yeah, on that Portkeys BMDS Small City 7 Red Touch. The Small HD City 7 is not bad. It's a little up there. Red Touch, I actually love the Red Touch monitor. I truly do. It is a really good monitor. The only negative to it is that it doesn't have like SDI or anything, so you can't use it for other things. But, I mean, I do not at all regret purchasing that. I love it. The Portkeys, the 7-inch monitor is quite good, and there's a new firmware coming soon that will make it even better. 2010, also the Jim Red user posts were the absolute best. So you know, with a Scarlett S35 for $7,000, and then even better for $6,000. Yep. Scott, are you rocking Misfit matte boxes? Do you need a matte box if you use Red PL VND? Yes, you do. I will. Sorry, buddy. I gotta step over my dog. You absolutely need a matte box because matte box is about controlling light. It also just happens to hold. Oh yeah, I gotta release it on both sides. Yeah. It also happens to hold filters. In a minute, buddy. Just 1 minute. So, do I rock Bright Tangerine? I do. I have 3. This is the Clash 138, which is now the Misfit Pola. This guy, it goes on a lot of different things. And I use this one when I need a polarizer because it has the ability to rotate your polarizer in there. I use it a ton. I have the Misfit Atom, which I use probably 85% of the time. And then I have the Viv. I don't use the Viv rarely. Now, I probably should sell it, honestly. I'd like to get the Kick. Kick is really good. The Viv is when I need just like a bunch of, especially if I need to do like a graduated ND, then I slip it down. I can slip it down in between. Okay. I need to go through here real fast, and then I gotta go. If you want to turn off noise reduction cells, the Venice upgrade for no kidding, funny. I decided to go small HD after all, skip all the other brands. Yep, agreed on the red monitor. Being able to use that is the number one reason to upgrade the Komodo X for the original. Not wrong at all. You need a matte mount for diffusion. A pull up. Yep, you need for other diffusion. There's 2 filters in this one that I'm using right now. Currently on a super cool project coming up. Does anyone regret going from KX to Raptor Super 35, losing the global shutter? I could see either way. It depends on what you're doing. If it's your only camera, I feel like KX is a better camera because it has better audio and a couple of other things, the global shutter. I think it's just a better, smaller form factor, easier on the power than that. But if it's the frame rate you need, yeah, I can see that. Caffeinated cameras, what's up? How are you, my friend? I'm literally just about to bust out of here because the oven is on and it's up to 500 degrees. I already know because ding, and I need to jump out of here. But Brandon, good to see you. Hope are you back from your travels? You've been traveling. So everyone, I need to go. Everyone have a fantastic and wonderful weekend. Hope you enjoy some pizza. If you have not enjoyed some pizza, try my recipe. Seriously, try it. It's super easy. It's really easy. It takes 3 days for the dough, but it's really only 15 minutes of work. Just do it. We just started the live. Nope, still here in New York. Oh, okay, well, yeah, I got it. My pizza. I got to go do it. So everyone, I hope you have a wonderful, fantastic weekend. Become a channel member for 2024. I mean, it's super easy. You just go down below. You just join it. Become one of the really cool kids like Gregory. Gregory's been a long-standing producer level, like the top tier. Like he literally gets to tell me what to do. I don't really get to do anything around here. He's like, no, Scott, you need to go clean your room. And I have to go do it because that's what you get at the producer level. It's kind of amazing. Everyone, fantastic. Happy New Year. Set some goals. Do some goals. Don't be like me. But this year, maybe I'll be different. And as always, as I like to leave it, don't let your passions center around your life. Let your life center around your passions. And he's like hidden completely. Where's he? Oh, he's sly. There he is. Rex, say bye. Say bye. Say bye, buddy. Yeah. All right. Everyone, great stream. Thank you all for joining. Bye-bye.